Welcome to TezMania TV and another t-shirt transformation. DIY time! The t-shirt in question is this little sucker. Yes, it is the t-shirt that my husband got from me at a festival this summer. It is a Fruit of the Loom men's large tee with a pissed off punk Mickey Mouse on it. And I love this print so much, and I love that it's a huge t-shirt so that I have something to work with instead of just having something that I'll cut into a tank top because that's all I can do with it. So this gives me a little bit more fabric to work with. So before I start cutting into this, I'm just going to show you how the fit is on me before I do anything so that you know kind of what size to go for if you want to do this yourself. So here you have it. This is the fit before I've done anything to it. And just so you know what you're signing on for, this is the end result. Let's get started. The very first thing I'm going to do is cut the sleeves off, and I am cutting right on the inside of that seam. Don't throw away the sleeve pieces because we're going to be using those in a second. Next up, I'm going to cut straight across like this, getting rid of the neckline. We're basically just going to have a big rectangular piece. What we're going to do next is cut the sides open. This is the kind of t-shirt that doesn't have a seam. If your t-shirt has a side seam, make sure to cut the entire seam off completely. But for me, I just need to cut this open. And you might be wondering why we're cutting it open when we're just about to sew it back together again, but that's to create the shape that we want. So what you have now is two sheets of fabric pretty much, and what we're going to do is flip these so that they're facing each other with the insides out. So here is Mickey, and I'm going to even out the edges now. This, we don't want that. This is kind of an A-line dress, so we want it to go completely straight. Just make sure that you don't cut off too much at the top because you need this to fit you. The fit right here is just underneath your boobs. And there you have it. The next step now is to sew the two side edges back together on your sewing machine. Next, you want to flip it back the correct way to check your seams and everything. Looks like this right now. This could make a cute pillowcase actually. But no, I want a dress. And then it's time to try it on. Alright, this is the fit right now. I have a little bit of give up here, which means that I'm going to create a couple of folds to make this fit a little bit better. I will be creating the folds in the back of the dress. So I'm going to take it off and flip it back inside out again. So right now I'm wearing it backwards and inside out so that I can easily create the folds. So you go from bigger to nothing fold-wise, if that makes sense. Okay, we have the two folds, so I am carefully going to take this off and then sew right across. If you're happy with the way your folds turned out, you can go ahead and just cut the extra little flap off. Alright, we have our two sleeve pieces that I'm going to be using for the boobs. What I'm going to do is flip them. So these two pieces are going to make up the top, and they have this nice curved shape to them already that we're actually going to follow. I just have to get rid of the old stitches. So I'm going to start by cutting those off. And what we're actually going to do, we're going to be so sneaky as to reuse this beautiful double hem that you have on the sleeves. This is going to make up the new waist hemline. But first we have to turn these two pieces into one. And we're going to do that by cutting this inner seam open, leaving those on the outside intact. And then we're going to attach the two pieces to make up one top piece. So we're going to place them on top of each other and pin them together. Only sew the first out of these two because you're going to need to try this on before you sew the second one. So start by just sewing one. And here we can see sort of how it's going to end up looking. So as you can tell, I have a little bit more fabric than I need in the back. So I'm going to do what I did before to make sure I get the right fit. And that is put this on inside out and backwards so that I can pin the back while it's in the front. All right, it now fits the way I want. So I'm going to carefully take this off and then sew this shut and move on. And then I'm just going to cut off that little extra piece. Because we're using the original hem from the sleeves, we get this really interesting shape. It makes it stand out a little bit more. All right, what we're gonna do now is hem this top line, the line that goes over the boobs and all the way around. All right, now before we can sew this or any of the rest of it that's left, I'm gonna create the straps. Because this will not stay up on its own, pretty much no matter how tight we make it, because the fabric is so elastic. If you want this to be a strapless dress, just sew an elastic into the top and into the waist as well if you want to, and it'll stay on better. But I like my straps. So I'm getting out the very final piece that we have left over, the piece that has the neckline. And you can do this as a halter if you like. But I'm gonna do two straps because, again, I think it's gonna keep the dress up better if there's one on each side. And for the straps, I'm not gonna bother with hemming the edges or anything like that. The big advantage of using t-shirt fabric is that it doesn't open up and get all fringy like other fabrics do. I might not have the perfect edges, but once these are gonna be spaghetti thin, they're kind of gonna roll up into little rolls anyway, so you're not gonna see that. So I'm just gonna cut this into two equally thick strips. And there we have it. Now keep in mind, like I said, these are super stretchy now, so don't make them too long. Make sure that they're really tight when you try this on. So I'm now going to place the bottom piece inside of the top piece, pinning those two together. Alrighty, it is finally time to sew this on. I'm going to try to follow one out of the two already existing seams to make sure that it looks as nice and neat as possible. Next, I am going to hem the top seam, and if you want to, you can sew the straps on while you do this, but I want to have this done before I attach these straps because I want to be able to try it on properly, and the needles make it pretty difficult to try it on properly right now, so I am going to just sew this and then go back in and add the straps. So I've pinned the straps to the front where I want them to go. And in order to be able to place them properly in the back, I'm gonna flip the dress around and again pin them on backwards. It's time to sew this and then we are done. Ta-da! So the dress is kind of a little on the fancy side, even though it's made from t-shirt. It's pretty cool, huh? So it kind of doesn't really match my crazy makeup and stuff. But yeah, it's a really great way to create a super comfortable dress because you guys know that t-shirts are comfortable. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, that you liked the finished result. If you feel like I missed explaining something or you have any other kind of question related to the dress, will you post that in the comments and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah. I love you guys and I'll see you next time. Bye!